everybody.
My girl went to the coffee shop and ordered an iced white mocha with no whip. I couldn't help but think that must be how my ancestors would have wanted their coffee on the plantation. It's weird being black in America. Like, we don't get invited to auctions anymore. We used to get all the invites. I like white people because white people know everything except how racist they are.
Oh,
The good thing about white supremacists is at least they're white. Which is nice, I assume. I used to live in Portland. That town is too white, it makes my teeth look bad. Spent some time in St. John's. Someone wrote nigger on the fence across from my door. I was like, I'm home. A few years ago, I lived in West Oakland. They found a human head in the recycling plant 2 blocks from my house, which is messed up because that's compostable. I was working on Valencia. I passed by this barber shop, saw a sign in the window. It said, shave and a haircut, $80. That's not how the song goes. I worked at this venue. Wasn't a bar. We didn't have a tap. We just put the bottles out. You know, we'd serve wine. People come in, they look at me, they look at the bottles, and be like, I have a nigger Modelo. I liked Oregon. It had the purest white supremacy of anywhere I ever tasted. Hard to find a job, though. I tried really hard, you know. I applied like 90 places. I tried to apply to the Ku Klux Klan, but I couldn't fit my resume on one sheet. Like, I'm surprised the Klan hasn't ruined bed sheets and pillowcases for everyone. It did for me. I just started sleeping in white girls. I was thinking about the purpose of a Klan hood, you know? Like, you might think, oh, it's like to hide because you're ashamed of the racism, but they're not ashamed of the racism. That's like their whole thing, you know? I think the purpose of a Klan hood is so that rich Klan members don't have to lend money to poor ones the day after the meeting. I grew up in Maryland, and at a certain point, I realized my grandmother had been in D.C. for the entire civil rights movement. And the next time I saw her, I had to ask, Grandma, what was it like? You were there for the March on Washington. You were there for the I Have a Dream speech. What was it like? And she said, oh, your grandfather wasn't interested in all that. I think it's ironic that Trump's son is barren when we all wish his mother was. I'm really inspired by the civil rights movement. So much so, I want to make a movie. It's a porno. We open on Rosa Parks going down on bare breasted. He's got a black power fist up Martin's ass. Martin is fingering Coretta, who's taking notes as he dictates his speech while she jerks off Mount. Anyway. Apparently there's a lot of young black men getting shot while handcuffed in the back of cop cars. It makes me wonder, like, do police not watch Tarantino films? It's a lot of cleanup. Growing up in Maryland, we had some kind of a feud with Virginia. I don't really know why. But thought about it. Virginia's named for the Virgin Queen. That's a weird way to name a place. Like, what if she was into butt stuff? Annapolis is for lovers. Like, the queen's job is mainly to not show her vagina to anyone. So, like, when she gave birth, she must have been really torn, you know? You guys, I hope Bono never assaulted anyone. Hashtag you too. If you are being sexually harassed, bring mace, because Puff Daddy will not help you. Living in Portland, there's a lot of strip clubs, you know. Like, you can walk into most bars and see pussy on stage for $1, which makes me wonder what my act is worth. I think Nickelodeon is responsible for my bukkake fetish. You can't do that on television. When I was little, my mom bought me an ice cream and I stepped outside, licked it, it fell right on the sidewalk. You know, I was super bummed out. My mom was too strict to let me like cry or something, but I was just sad. She was like, oh, I don't think I have any more. But she reached in, she found a bill, she bought me another ice cream. This time, she licked it really hard on it, just to make sure it wouldn't fall off. She did that for the rest of my childhood when she bought me an ice cream. And I think that's why I'm obsessed with deep throating. I was at a bar the other day, and the bartender leaned across to these two women. He was like, but old ladies don't know what bukkake is. And I had to interject. I was like, old ladies know what bukkake is. They just remember it as Paris. I told that joke at a nursing home the other day. Killed. Apparently there was a shooting at YouTube. I don't really know. I haven't seen any footage. They caught the Golden State Killer. 30 years, someone was murdering people all over California. 30 years. Who knew there was the police? Who could have predicted? Who could have predicted it was the cops? You guys, I just realized I should stop calling my brother a motherfucker. I really am the sheep of color of my family. Like, my mom used to tuck me in, you know, she'd go to leave. I'd be like, Mom, I forget. What do girls have? She would turn off the lights. Vagina, son. Vagina. My stepdad tucked me in differently. He would say, good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. But a few years ago in San Francisco, I had bed bugs, and they don't really give a fuck about consent. Like, they don't ask permission. I remember when I was little, I was maybe like 8 or 10, I asked my mother, like, Mom, if you died, what would happen to me? She was like, well, if I died, Bill's your stepdad, so you would live with Bill. So, oh, well, what if you and Bill died? They're together a lot. She was like, well, if we both died, you would go to live with your grandmother, but she's old, you know. Like, what if grandma died? And my mom was like, what are you planning? A few years back, there was a drought in San Francisco. Everyone kind of worked together to deal with it. They stopped watering their lawns. They stopped showering, you know. It was so successful that the reservoir overflowed into the sewage. So there's trace amounts of fecal matter in the San Francisco water supply. But you guys eat ass, right? So it's fine. It's okay. Let's do a quick language lesson. A Japanese porn star is Asian. The ancient art of bukkake is Oriental. I tried some polyamory in Portland. I met this lady, I thought she was really nice, you know, I was like, oh, we made a connection. She was like, I'm not really looking to date, I'm married and I have kids, I just want someone to fuck me while my husband does. I was like, whoa. Normally I might be down for something like that, but I'm kind of emotionally fragile right now, and I just really wanted a human connection. She's like, well, we'll see, I'll check in with him. So she invited me over one time, we hung out in the backyard. I fisted her, right? And she had 4 kids. I realized eventually, like, I'm not getting my fist back till she's done with it. You know, she's in charge. So eventually, she let me go. We went to the bedroom. After a while, I fell asleep. I woke up. She wasn't there. So I kind of went to look for her. I was trying to figure out where she was, and I heard some voices in the back. So she's in the back with her husband talking, and I'm like, I'm not sure how I fit into this, but she's like, don't worry. You know, we worked it out. You and me get the bed. It's fine. So then we all go inside, and they're looking at me and the bed, and they're like, you can do what you want, but we're going to fuck. And I was like, I'm cool. I want to just chill on this couch. So I'm on the couch. They close the door. They start having sex. It's like, all right, that's cool. That's all right. It gets louder and louder, and I kind of like start editing my podcast on my phone, you know. He comes out of the bedroom, he's naked, he walks into the kitchen, he like drinks water in the kitchen, he walks back, slams the door, and he's like fucking her again. So I'm editing my podcast, and then the door opens. He's like, could you turn that down? It's kind of loud. So he closes the door really hard, babies start crying in the basement.
Warhol, you have injustice dreadlocks, not fuck story dreadlocks. The fuck story is too intense with those dreadlocks. You've got to calm it down.